Totally knocked out by the damn Sony network. What's up, Doc? All right, so let me get back into it. We're talking about Muhammad Ali, the greatest of all time. Sadly passed away. But, I mean, honestly, I mean, he was 74 years old. So, I mean, and he was battling Parkinson for the past 30-plus years. But anyway, back into it, talking about his actual records. His total fights in boxing was 61. Of those 61, he won 56. You're talking like back in the day with the amount of damage that happened in 15 rounds, he won 56 fights, 37 of those by knockout. And he only had 5 losses to his career, and 2 of those occurred after he decided to come back to boxing in the 80s. Like, he had already had his heavyweight championship reign and his runs, and he decided to come back. He lost 2 fights. So I don't technically even count those. Those were kind of like him just still wanting to box. So I only give him 3 technical losses. Of course, they went to, like, the baddest dudes on the planet at that time. Move like a butterfly, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. When will you play Rocket League again? I honestly don't know. Fallout and work have got me laid down. Lands back in her spot, right there. Let's see. Moving around here. All right, here we go. Muhammad Ali won the title in 1964, 1974, and 1978. Now, a couple of those years, he was actually on probation from the U.S. government for avoiding the draft. And he said that actually going to war was actually going against his Muslim statehood, which is why he fought the draft so hard. And he actually lost, I think it was 4 years of his pinnacle boxing career due to that fact. And he was going to spend a few years in jail because of it. So that's why his distance between 1964 and 1974. So 1974 and 1978 was his things. Between February 25th, 1964 and 1964, Ali reigned as the heavyweight boxing champion, nicknamed the Greatest. He was involved in several historic boxing matches. Notably among these was the fight of the century, the Super Fight 2, and the Thriller in Manila versus his rival Joe Frazier. And if you guys have never seen Joe Frazier box, oh my God. I mean, one of the greatest boxers of all time, hands down. The first listed fight, which was the Super Fight 2, and then the Rumble in the Jungle versus George Foreman. George Foreman, I mean, I know most people in here refer to him as the guy with the grill, or the guy who named 7 of his 9 kids George and Georgette, so that he wouldn't forget. But George Foreman, in his heyday, was a beast, a big, giant beast. And when he did the Rumble in the Jungle, oh, it was so big and brutal. Ali retired from boxing in 1981. That was obviously after his 2 losses after that. Let's see here. Blah, blah, that's that. And this is fun. And on January 8th, 2001, Muhammad Ali was presented with the Presidential Citizens Medal by President Bill Clinton. And in November 2005, he received the Presidential Medal of Freedom by President George W. Bush, followed by the Otten Peace Medal of Gold of the UN Association of Germany. I mean, this guy, not only did he break down, amazing color barriers in the boxing and honestly around the world, he also did so much good for Parkinson's research and as well around for his advocacy toward just in general peace. Like, when you say you lost an icon last Friday, we did. We lost somebody that was truly amazing to this world, and there will never be anybody like him. And when you put people like Muhammad Ali up there, I mean, you're talking people like Gandhi, Mother Teresa, I mean, people who actually did a difference in this world. And when you say their name, it is synonymous around the planet. And he is actually one of those. But yeah, I mean, again, there is so much good and so much amazing that happened with that man. And honestly, we're so happy to have him for the time that we did. Muhammad Ali, I mean, honestly, man, we miss you. So that, taking away from nerdy news, which has actually been from the previous segment, actually brings into the question of the day. My question to you is, we're talking about icons, living legends. Let's just stick with just icons. My question to you guys is, who is your icon? It doesn't have to be somebody super famous or anything like that, but who do you guys, living or dead, look up to? Who is somebody that is out there that you guys look up to? Like, yes, that person is on this amazing pedestal to me. Detective Gizmo. Very good, Clancy. That is the British version, but we're not doing that. We're talking Inspector Gadget. America. Damn it. Inspector Door. You put a D in there. You. Shut up, heroes. Stop kissing ass.
Hieroglyphics said Jason Kidd.
Jason Kidd. Wow. Okay.
Dan with the Michael Jackson. Power plug with himself.
Of course. Well, he has the best fish and chips on the planet. Anyone else got chill bumps when Ollie got to light, the Olympic torch? That was another thing. In 1996, he lit the Olympic torch, and that was, again, it is one of those things. Like, he is an icon. There's nobody like him, and he is one of those names that no matter where you are on this planet, you know who he is. Freaking America. Buka says Richard Harris. I don't know who that is. You got to give me more background on that one. But I think that everybody has their own icon, somebody that they look up to, or somebody that, like, yes, they achieved a lot, or I like them in general.
One word, and you know what I'm going to say.
Burger. Madonna. Yeah.
She's gonna be a bad one to lose.
I've been known to call Eddie Guerrero. What was that?
Yeah, Fizzy's been known to call Eddie Guerrero his hero.
Eddie Guerrero, the wrestler? Awesome. Robin Williams, amazing. Yes.
Jonathan Ferguson. Dan Haggerty.
Michael Fox? Michael J. Fox, or somebody else named Michael Fox?
I assume Michael J. Fox.
Well, you got to put the J in there. There's a reason he put the J in there.
I don't know.
Okay, she says Oliver Reed. I don't know who Oliver Reed is either. Bootcut, you're honestly not allowed to vote. We don't know who these people are.
It's not a vote. It's a personal expression.
I know. I'm just giving her hell. But yeah, I think that everybody should. I mean, like,
Allen Iverson.
You don't have to have somebody that everybody knows to be your idol or your icon.
I hear she treats them well.
Allen Iverson. I know the name, but I can't tell you who it is. I've heard that name. A friend of mine is a dancer for Madonna. That's cool. What's the question, DMK? The question is, who is your icon? Who is your idol? It can be living or dead. It could be somebody that pretty much you look up to. Maybe the guy who created magic. What's up, guys? Someone deleted my YouTube app, so notifications. Someone or you?
Excuses. We have the same time.
Oh, excuse me. To what do we owe the pleasure? To Ron Mexico rolling in almost at the end of the show? Yeah, right, Daddy. I shaved my head, and you're only 9 minutes into your show. I'm not on time because I'm Ron Mexico. I'm always on time. Well, the stream failed. My friends say I have a massive ego. Power plug. If you have a massive ego, dude, seriously, we need to get together. Fakir Mustafa, father of modern primitive movement. That's deep, man. That's seriously deep. Ron Mexico, Tony Stark, true, Baca. Don't know, don't really have one. Well, then you can't participate.
You don't have to.
Goose deleted it. I'm not lying. I'm just messing with you. Kayla, what's going on, man? Welcome back. Hey, Ron.
Blame everything on Goose.
Yeah, you really can. I mean, that's not how this world works. AI 76ers NBA player cross. Oh, okay. I knew the name, but I just, like, my brain just could not connect it. I'm like I said, I'm still sick, so like I can't.
You're not firing on all pistons.
I'm not firing anywhere near all pistons. Buka says Richard Harris played Dumbledore. Oh, okay. I
know who.
That's been so long ago till I forgot. You've been offered, like, yeah, I knew it was coming, man. Like, seriously, you must lick your own head in order to get the drugs out of it. I'm serious. Power plug. All chiefs had massive egos.
Chefs.
All chefs have massive. I don't know why I said chiefs. Yeah, I should see his on the iPad. Yeah, see.
Okay, so how does a baby have an iPad? I don't even have an iPad.
Suppose I better go with Inspector Gadget then. Yes, you probably should. Agreed, Dirty South. What did Dirty South say?
Chris Kyle.
What?
Chris Kyle.
Chris Kyle, yes, Chris Kyle. But yeah, I mean, I think everybody should have their own icon and their own person they look up to. You don't have to be somebody that everybody knows.
It's completely personal.
Yeah, I think it is. Did you get Far Harbor yet? Heroes, get with the program, man.
Well, duh.
One of my first bosses.
There you go.
It is actually your idol, your icon. That's awesome. I like it that it's actually very personal to you. It's not somebody that's famous. It's actually somebody that you know and you look up to. I'm on my iPad. See, there you go with that bragging again. Inspector Gadget.
Dun, 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 dun. Woo, woo.
There we go.
All right, Kyle.
Kyle! All right. So that's all for the question of the day. Make sure you guys vote once again.
You don't have to give it to him. You can keep it for you or your bearded husband.
What are we talking about?
Grandma bought Goose an
Oh,
iPad.
okay,
She lets him play with it like, no!
Anyway, make sure you dudes guys got to vote. Inspector Gadget versus Yakko Warner. Yakko is from the Animaniacs, and Inspector Gadget is from our fun with Listwitz's Go-Go Gadget Copter on Friday. And no, we're not doing story time tonight, heroes. Stop asking.
Clancy wants to know where Fish Stick is and Captain Timothy.
They're both on break right now because
You're sick.
yes, we're gonna go with that.
And when he's sick, we don't want to let them in the room because he's
Yeah, the green room is
You see, Geists can't get sick because I'm already dead.
That's true.
So
That's true. We need a story time. Story time will be on Fridays.
Don't worry about me because I know you were all worried about me.
We need a nerdy day to honor you. What? Oh, day two honor me. You don't need to honor me. That's stupid. No, don't do that. Ooh. All right, let's get back into the comics. This is Spider-Man's 588. This is the last of the character assassinations. I love this cover. Something about it, the way that he's just laying down. I love the artwork with this. A lot of icons. Ralph Baron, Nolan Burchell. That has got to be football players. Sick, Jizzy. I know how you feel, man. I've been sick for 4 weeks now. Oh, it's just ridiculous. And we just referenced him earlier with the cartoon series. There he is, the return of the Spot, one of the worst villains in history.
When I see Return of the Spots, I'm getting a migraine.
I know, right? I absolutely hate the Spot. I think he's so lame. Kitchen Nightmare. So, 590, the one you've been waiting for when he teams back up with the Fantastic Four. I like the cover, man. Anytime he teams up with somebody, it always looks really good. Haha, Onion Knight, that's right. And then from 590 to 591, and this is where it gets a little hairy, you see Johnny Storm actually burning Spider-Man's mask. Now that is actually an intriguing way to look at it. No better in Bush, hell no computers, Bushnell made at
Sorry.
The Spot sucks balls. You don't even know who the Spot is. Stop it. Ooh, a nerdy appreciation day. How fancy. We're still gonna.
Shell said he didn't think of it first.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm surprised he showed up tonight. All hail the Onion King. 592.
He's gonna go back to Candace's. I've been nagging at him again.
I am. I'm gonna do it next week when I'm not better. Just any. This. I mean, you consider this like a like sort of me sliding to the gay side.
That's right.
But I love a muscular Spider-Man.
Orange is the new black.
Oh, about time.
And we'll watch it in one day.
I love a muscular Spider-Man. I just think it looks really, really cool. It looks like he's actually doing work, son, when he's out there. And I just like it. I mean, you don't like what I say, but I like it. So 593. Apparently he's hanging out at a coffee shop. I don't know. But it's kind of a neat cover.
I like coffee.
I like how the Spider-Man sort of blends behind the actual of what's going on. Also in Game of Thrones.
The Onion King.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah.
594. He's hanging out with a mattress man. That's really weird. Like I guess they're running out of ideas at this point. 4 weeks, you're pregnant. It's yours, fatality.
Surprise!
I'm going to Florida soon. I'm going to check out. So nerdy store there. Can't wait. Well, buy me something. 595, and this is when we get into Dark Reign, and they're actually and an American Son as well. American Son was one of those comic issues where Norman Osborn was actually turning good. Yeah, or trying to turn good.
I'm always trying to turn good, but it doesn't work out very well.
We see Norman Osborn and Harry Osborn both on the front with the Green Goblin, and then Menace down here.
Everybody named Jizzy's baby.
Uh-oh. Maybe we should have a poll sometime of who is, who's...
He already has strange cravings.
Yeah.
He's been pregnant for like
Name the
years.
child Powerplug 2.0. Dark Reign, American Son 2 of 5. With, of course, it's Venom, but that's actually like Matt Gargan as Venom. Just a badass cover in general. Tex Fibian. Oh, God. And then here we go. This is an amazing cover. The artwork is awesome. And then you sort of get the glimpse of how they're trying to roll with Dark Reign, American Son #3. And you can see this right here is where Norman Osborn started to take over the new Iron Suit. And, of course, he whoops Spider-Man's ace. And there's Wolverine hanging out there. Wonder why.
Dad, he wants to know what you're having.
What are we having? Pasta. And speaking of pregnancy, this is funny. 598. There is Menace, who's pregnant. It's fatalities. It's fatalities. Yeah. What part of Florida, Super Chick? Uh-oh, about to be hanging out with an MC. What are we having? Bah! Later. But Nerdy, did you get pregners when stream was down before? Shh, don't tell nobody.
He's a bit of a slut in more ways than just Fallout.
I know. 599, American Son 5 of 5 right there. And you got the American Son, and then what is that, Iron Man hanging out back there? And then it brings us into Amazing Spider-Man number 600. Yeah, no, I don't have 600 Amazing Spider-Man issues. Don't worry about that. I'm a Rolling Stone. And this is a huge, huge, heavy, heavy book. This was, I mean, this was one of the big, yeah, it had so many story arcs going through it. Just heavy as hell. But it looks really, really good. It's one of those classic, just sort of like just Spider-Man web slinging. It looks really good, and it's fresh off the heat of American Son, so obviously you can tell he probably beat Norman Osborn. And now we are into 601, which is probably one of the sexiest covers I have in my collection. Anything where they do this sort of like artwork with Mary Jane, it just makes her super sexy, and she is in this one. So this is 601. I'm telling you guys, this is one of those ones you should probably want to pick up, because anything, whenever Amazing Spider-Man Homecoming comes out, this stuff is going to start blowing up. If you get a chance, pick this issue up. Fatality loves his some Jiztalia. Oh no, Jiztalia. That's how you say that. He hoards penises as well as all his toys. I do. Now the Minecraft guidebooks are heavy. I'd buy that for $1. Anyway, just an awesome cover in general. Did you see it?
I did. I like it.
And now I do too.
You bragged on that one when you first got it.
I did. It's one of my favorites. It
that's
really
how
is.
much that's ingrained in my head. I remember that exact cover.
We're having a girl, and its name is Giselia Farticia. Giselia. That is a terrible name. I like calling it like lasagna or pasta. Cheese dip.
Cheese dip. Or we can go ethnic and call her chili con queso.
What was that other stuff? My man just. What was that? Chilaquiles. Chilaquiles. 601 is already pretty expensive. Is it really? Like I said, this is stuff that I bought as they came out, and I just stopped reading it. Those pages look stuck. It's the cover, baby.
Fatal Laquisha.
Laquisha.
No, Fatal Laquisha.
Fatal Laquisha. Oh, that's not good. So this is 602. Some more Mary Jane sexiness, and they're sort of like going through the years right here. This is sort of like the 60s kind of Mary Jane look. Her name is Wasabi. 603, some Mary Jane 70s look, and even Spider-Man has that 70s look going on. And 604, is that Spider-Man versus Peter Parker? And Mary Jane's like doing her angelic devil look. Your brain is skipping dimensions today. Apparently it is. Like I said, I still don't feel really good, so that's the problem. 605, a little bit of something's going on. A little bit of hearts and love. Jizzality. Taquito burrito. This is getting very racist in here. We've got to change subjects quick. You having a child with fatality?
I heard all dreams shattered.
Yeah, but you went to foreign countries for a long time and didn't check in with me.
Just because he went on a business trip does not give you the right to cheat.
That was not a business trip. That was for personal use only, and then he vanished off the Take a Shit Tuesday.
There he is.
What's going on, my man? How you doing? Oh, she's still here. And then 606, and this is one of those sexy covers. I'm telling you guys, you need to buy the 606. Of course, kissing Black Cat. Oh no! And then Mary Jane, of course, taking a look at it. But the artwork is amazing, and honestly, that ass though. I mean, come on.
Leave it, Take a Shit Tuesday. Why not?
take a shit. I got to change my name back. Do not change your name back. I like the name. I dig it. Oh, what is going on, Mr. Disney World? Ron, you need a hug. It's his fault. Don't you start blaming me. Hope you're having a great day. I am now that you are here. Thank you so much. And then, of course, 607, some Black Cat wearing some Spider-Man stuff. I mean, seriously.
I'm always in your corner, Ron Mexico. I guess I'm the one that's going to get to lick your head now. Was that bad?
You better fight.
Say that.
We better fight. There is only one person allowed to lick Ron Mexico's head, and that is the other half of this necklace. Just click and then click and lick, right? Damn, I need to go now. Busy day tomorrow. Mr. Power Plug, thank you so much for tuning in. And I'm going to work on getting Power Plug's Fish and Chips into my Fallout world for you. Badass, though. I mean, seriously, kissing Black Cat.
With Fathom, try it. If you're in the playroom, try it
Holy
outside
lag
of
with
the
YouTube
playroom.
hates Florida viewers. Apparently it does, man.
Okay, like try it
I think it's the
straight through
PlayStation.
YouTube. Yeah.
Some people are saying that the PlayStation is going to have an update tomorrow, and that's honestly why I was kicked off. Love and vintage comics. These technically aren't vintage. These were in 2009, 2000.
they're not vintage
Yeah,
yet.
2009. Well, I mean, that was a while ago. That was almost 10 years ago. It was 8 years ago.
Stop it. Shut up. Shut your whore mouth.
608. I'm not sure who this is. You could say it's Bullseye, but I don't think it is. Like I said, I haven't read these. I don't know. I don't think it is Bullseye, but it kind of looks like him. Yeah, it does. I do have vintage. 609, some more of that guy, whoever that guy is.
Apparently Fatality is the Black Ron Mexico.
Apparently I gotta lick his head now, too.
We all licking heads in here.
Off subject a bit, but with your MJ vinyl, have you got turnable?
I don't wanna.
Carnage, you made my brain melt. What did Carnage say? Read it again.
He's asking if you got a record player for your Michael Jackson.
Oh, that is not what I read.
He said turntable. That's a record player.
Right, but I read it as Mary Jane, not as Michael Jackson.
Vinyl.
He said MJ.
Have you got? I know Michael Jackson.
I'm just
vinyl.
showing
Have you
Mary
got a
Jane
turntable?
comics.
Except that's not vinyl. That is.
Anyway,
I got you,
607,
Bootsy.
the
I'm
most
paying-
expensive.
Okay, I just wanted to let the room know.
What?
I'm paying attention.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
attention.
Licking heads. Somebody, Petro? What did Petro say?
Oh, Pro Painter, he likes your collection, wants to know how long it took you to build it.
Thank you very much, man. Appreciate you stopping in. The collection
Liquor
took forever. Honestly, it takes a lifetime. It took a lifetime to collect this. A lot of this stuff is actually collected over the past couple of years, just pretty much to show on the show. But yeah, man, what are you into? What do you collect? That's why I do this show, so we can sort of like connect on that, toyish level. The Head Liquor Society. There you go.
Turntables and a microphone.
Turntable. I didn't read it as turntable because it split the word.
But it says turntable.
It splits it on my screen. It was like Tarpatabadol. And I'm like, what? Yes. This thing right here is actually a record player that is behind the Michael Jackson album. That is the original Thriller album. And then that is, and it does work.
It's not a turntable. It's a record
Stratosphere!
player. It's old school.
What is going on, Stratosphere? It comes out so wrong. It does. So there's 610, and the character on the front is actually Kane. In the 90s, boom. In the 90s, they did the Clone Wars in Amazing Spider-Man, which is when Peter Parker was gone and Ben Reilly took over the mantle of Spider-Man. That's aka the Scarlet Spider. And at that point, the Clone Wars were big and happening. And Kane, which is this guy right here, was actually a clone of Peter Parker as well. He was just the taller, meaner version of him. Anyway, long story short, there's Kane coming back. I'm a hot mess sometimes. You're a hot mess all the time. Don't even
I'm always a hot mess.
Yeah, no doubt. That's what she said, Liswitz. Oh. Lick, boom. So I know that through the past couple of years, this has been one of those issues that has sort of been tossed around as valuable, mainly because it is Spider-Man and Deadpool, which is $6.11. I don't know what the value is. I just bought it off the shelf. This is when Deadpool was starting to get his major popularity, whenever everybody you saw at a con was dressed up as Deadpool, which is honestly the reason I don't like Deadpool. The movie was really good. I liked the movie. I think Ryan Reynolds was a perfect fit, but
Am I not enough characters for you? It just in one
There you
carnage?
go. But the massive love and ridiculousness for Deadpool is just so overwhelming. It's kind of sickening to me. If you've ever gone to a con, you see 1,000 Deadpools, and it's so uncreative. Oh, there's Pimp Deadpool. Oh, there's Gloveless Deadpool. Oh, there's Wing Deadpool. And it's like, come on.
Chimichanga Deadpool.
Yeah, it's just like, I'm so sick of Deadpool. You can love him, that's fine. But my personal opinion, don't care. Is Tombstone still in Spider-Man comics? I don't know if he still is currently because I haven't read it, but I imagine Tombstone would be one of those ones that would sort of be a recurring role. We could see Mary Jane in vinyl. Shut up.
We could see Mary Jane on vinyl.
Oh, Mary Jane on vinyl. There you go. So there is the Deadpool Spider-Man 611. And now this is definitely when I have no idea what's going on, and this is when I was hitting that weird stride of buying the same comic book multiple times because I didn't know what I had. So 612, and this is when Electro starts coming back in, and what I like the title, this is The Gauntlet Begins. And I remember seeing these covers, and it was this long progression of so many villains coming back into Spider-Man's life and sort of just like knocking him down. I mean, every time there'd be like 4 issues, and then he would almost beat him, and then the next issue, boom, another classic villain comes right back.
He'll read it wrong anyway.
Meant the 60s type. Question. What? I don't even know what he's talking about. God.
He's talking about 2 turntables and a microphone. Where is that?
Is that what he's talking about?
No.
Okay.
You don't listen to me.
So 613, more of Electro, and you actually see up top in the corner, it actually shows Electro for the Gauntlet. And as the story progresses, as these do, the top changes, but the Gauntlet stays the same. And this is just a badass cover. I mean, these are just really, really good covers. And this is when like the Spider-Man series sort of start taking back off. And there's the last one, I believe, for the Electro series. And, of course, you can see Spider-Man's down again. That would make a nice album cover. There we go. Running the Gauntlet, continuing into 615, is the Sandman. Down here, there's the Sandman part. And that's just a cool cover in general. Like, they were just doing really good. Who got eliminated today? John M. Mumra got kicked out today. Scooby-Doo advanced. And then we got more of Sandman taken out. This is 616. Just anything with Sandman. I really like Sandman. He's a badass villain, and I really like how Sam Raimi did him in the movies. He sucked on Venom, and then New Goblin was horrific. But Sandman, I think he nailed him. So there is the Gauntlet for 616.
Relentless.
And the Gauntlet continues on into 617 with the Rhino. And, oh, just a badass cover. Like, look at that cover. And they actually made variants of this book. And I remember a few of them, like, the face was more protruding out of the actual thing. But this is the only one that I have. I don't have any of the variant covers. Eliminating what? Mr. Prem Patel. We do the cartoon brawl right now. And we've already started. There's no way to get into it, so all you got to this point is vote. But each and every individual show, we do 2 brawls. And tonight we do have Inspector Gadget versus Yakko. How do you vote, you ask? I know you want to. You got to type it in with the capital letters into your comment section. The I needs to be capitalized. They got a space between the R and the G, and the G is capitalized. That's how you vote for Inspector Gadget. Vote for Yakko. Just capitalize the Y and spell Acco. Today is 6/6/16. DMK, very good. I didn't have to buy you a calendar this time.
Today is brought to you by the letter F and the number U.
There we go. So 618, Mysterio pops in and still running the gauntlet with all his classic
Honestly, I was
villains.
thinking the same thing when he said 6/16. So.
What, they needed he had a calendar?
No, today is like 6/6/16.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah.
And then 519, 619, I keep saying 5. 619, more Mysterio, and there's some blood going on there. So as you can see, as this more and more progresses, there are so many of these classic villains.
How much does Scooby-Doo beat Mummer?
13 to 20, 21 to 13.
So buy a good bit.
Yeah, by a little bit. And then 620, Spider-Man fighting Mysterio, knocking the globe loose, and there, I believe this ends the gauntlet for Mysterio. And that actually ends that box, so we have got a lot of Spider-Man comics.
Do you know if
Is that an offer?
number 1 would be worth anything?
I have X-Force number 1. 30 years ago, worth anything. I mean, I'm trying to remember who was in X-Force number 1. like, generally things that are worth stuff is first appearances of major characters now. Like, what is it? New Mutants 97 or something was the first appearance of Deadpool and Domino. It's a juggernaut of a sale book. I mean, it's ridiculous. And then like Batgirl #1 is like the first appearance of Harley Quinn. So there are so many. Oh my God, you're right. I did it. I did want to vote. Sandman, underappreciated. I totally agree with you. I really do. What are you doing? Somebody's with the number of the beast. The number of the beast is in here. 98.
Fatality,
Okay.
start talking about Simon and Garfunkel. He's got
Fatality. I'm gonna have to start banning you, man. I mean, seriously. This is what you're causing, and it makes my brain hurt even more.
Look up Simon and Garfunkel. Cecilia.
I was close.
It's like one of the best songs ever. The percussion on it makes the song fantastic.
Drew Baca, you talk for 2 solid hours and try to remember every comic book cover ever. I mean, seriously. But I was only one off from a quick guess, and I don't own New Mutants number 98.
You can vote, Johnny. You just have to comment and just use capital letters where there's capital letters, space where there's a space.
I don't know where my books.
Yeah, the button for voting does not work. You have to literally type it in.
The buttons do not work. Well, that's all we're going to show with the comic books because I don't know where my next piece goes.
You need to capitalize Gadget.
Yes.
For it to count.
Tell them how to do it.
It's got to be spelled correctly and it's got to be capitalized. The number U. That's such a word. That's totally a number. It's a Greek number.
It's a Greek number.
Yeah, I think.
All right, well, we're going to stop on the Spider-Man right now because I don't know where the next section is because there's so much. Very close. You almost got it that time. If Hitler was Hitler today and Hitler cloning machine, you hold world hostage with Hitler clone.
What?
And Hitler Unlimited, Hitler what hold hostage? Hieroglyphics. I understand that people like to try to make my brain melt, but that one is redonkulous.
At least you haven't called your comics volumes today.
Expert 1 depends on grade of the comic. Well, I mean, honestly, everything depends on grade, but even some don't even matter. Like,
totally could be.
If the first appearance is the first appearance, it's still going to have value, regardless if the cover is torn off or not. At least you haven't called them volumes today. I know, right? You not a Greek number. Oh. So yeah, let me show these. These are really cool to me. These are probably some of the prides of my collection. I don't get to show a lot of my prides. But one of my favorite characters of all time, and he's very underappreciated, and he recently got his own comic book series, but the artwork is horrendous. I can't stand the artwork in it. The covers are awesome, but the interior of it is crap, and it makes me vomit a little bit. It's like a toddler drew it, and they're like, "Yay, good job!" But one of my favorite heroes of all time is the Rocketeer. They made a movie in the 90s called The Rocketeer. And I love the movie. The movie was really cool. It's close to the comic book, how the comic book was in the 80s. Let's see, where is it? I'm trying to remember. Let's see here. But anyway, this is... Oh, it's behind it. So these are what they call the Rocketeer Adventure magazines, and this is issue number 1. And this is from the 80s. I don't remember the actual time. 1988, July 1st, 1988. So this is the Rocketeer Adventure magazines. And this is not the first appearance of the Rocketeer. This is just the Rocketeer Adventure magazine. Rocketeer is a great movie. I agree. But the artwork in it is just awesome. Like, it's so classic. It looks like it's done from the 40s like it's supposed to. It doesn't look like a toddler drew it. And one thing that I really like about the Rocketeer is that his girlfriend, the Rocketeer's main girlfriend, was Betty Page. Yeah, the pinup model Betty Page. They modeled her after Betty Page, and they called her Betty. But there he is, and this is from the 80s, and you actually see some Betty Page nipples right there. Yeah, and this was a book that anybody could buy back in the day. So I actually love the Rocketeer. He is one of my top favorite comic book characters. And yeah, see, check this out. Like, this looks good. This is good. It's readable material, let alone it's sexy, but it just is nice. And it's based in the 40s around fighting Nazis, which is always a good thing.
That went through, Johnny. Good luck. Good job. You have voted.
This is the Rocketeer Adventure Magazine #2. That is just a badass cover in general, and this is from the 80s. Again, bedtime for this dude, Mr. I Create Corners. Thank you so much for making my brain melt a little bit tonight. It's always good to have you in here.
You gotta have a little bit of brain melt.
You do. And Fizz Kid generally holds the candle to that, but tonight, nope, my brain meltage goes directly to Carnage.
But it didn't melt my brain. Does that make my brain like rock and your brain like ice?
Yes, it does. One thing I would like to point out is that...
hard-headed?
Yes. A lot of people think that the Rocketeer is the twin pack from the movie. That's not how it originated. The original was the big one booster pack. Now, that is one qualm that I do have with it. I think the double pack looks so much sleeker than this solid rocket pack on the back. But it doesn't matter because it is the original Rocketeer, and these are the Rocketeer Adventure magazines. Had to do it 5 times, John, man. I'm so sorry. I think Sony's getting the update from what people have told me. Sony's getting an update today. So everything's a little wonky. The stream's kind of laggy. It actually failed on me once. Can I borrow it? No. I'm hanging back tonight. You're good, man. Anyway, make sure you guys vote. We're going to wrap it up very, very shortly. Inspector Gadget Yakko, if you have not. Even if you had, maybe it didn't go through. Maybe you're having John M. problems. Fox wants a tug. Yes, he does. I'm hanging back. I appreciate it. So there's some Rocketeer stuff. Again, it's one of my favorites. And this is actually, I believe this is issue #2. Because the Rocketeer was not widely accepted right away, because they didn't want to give it its own, yeah, this is #2. They didn't want to give it its own series.
Shut me up, heroes. I know his game. I learned it a long
Subscribed!
time ago.
Thank you very much. Ask him what you like, Ginger. He says yes. Okay.
Are you a dumbass?
You're very, very yes.
Yeah.
You're very, very close. But back in the day, they didn't want to give the Rocketeer his own series. Now these magazines obviously came later, but this is actually Rocketeer Chapter 2, and it starts at the very end of this craptacular issue of Star Slayer: The Log of the Jolly Roger. Yeah, from PC Comics. So this is Star Slayer. This is how you find the Rocketeer issue #2 from PC Comics. Star Slayer: The Log of the Jolly Roger. Oh yeah, I can't wait for let's see, what issue is this? Issue #3 of Star Slayer: The Log of the Jolly Roger. That sounds like a porn. We need to make that. The Log of the Jolly Roger, follow Inspect Her Gadget. Sorry. So there's some log of the Jolly Roger. But at the end, and honestly, when you flip it over the back, there is the cover for the second issue of the Rocketeer. And somewhere in this collection, I have the first issue, but I don't know where it's at. But it was just a few pages. Like, that's all they gave the Rocketeer, was just a few blips on the screen. But
who is PC Comics?
Nobody knows. But one good thing is that they had a Betty Page little piece right there. Now this is still good, great artwork for back in the day. It really is. It's very legible. People like to look at it, but they stuck it in the back of Star Slayer: The Log of the Jolly Roger. That comic was a mouthful. It really was. And I mean, honestly, when was the last time you read that?
Mr. Disneyland likes your... Is he Disneyland or is he Disney World?
I don't know which one it was, but it's definitely Disney.
He likes your haircut.
I do too. It's very cool in the summertime. Shampoo is better.
Ooh.
Shampoo is better. Oh, it goes on and leaves the hair silky and smooth. Well, we'll do this last one, and then we're going to wrap it up. Detective Gadget. Very good. Loving the haircut. Thank you very much. Sounds like one of the creators. Yeah, it really does. Always thought Rocketeer and Iron Man were separated at birth. I love the Rocketeer. I would like to see him incorporated. And honestly, with the new DC Rebirth, they're putting DC characters with the Watchmen. There was one little snippet where Batman is actually holding the bloody smiley face that the comedian had. And
Hi, Joker.
And it's just like, oh, it's just so awesome. And I would love to see the Rocketeer incorporated with things, kind of like they're doing with the Shadow.
Pacific Comics,
Disneyland.
aka PC Comics, was an independent comic book publisher that flourished from 1981 to 1984.
There we go. DMK dropping
3
some
years.
knowledge upon you. Yeah, but in the meantime, though, they gave the birth to the Rocketeer, which actually got its own movie, and now it has sort of a cult following. Sorry. Oh, shut up, Clancy. So the last one I'm going to show you is The Walking Dead issue 100. Now this is going to be some spoilers for you guys out there, but this is the actual issue. This is one of the many freaking variant covers. But this is The Walking Dead issue 100. It has not been read. As soon as I bought this, it went into this sleeve, and then I bought the trades and read what happened. This is actually one of the pinnacle books of The Walking Dead. Few major things happen in a few of them. Sometimes, like the last trade, was very uneventful. But some major things happen. In issue 100, this is actually the death of Glenn. Yeah, right there. That's the death of Glenn in issue 100. So I do actually have it. Thanks for another great show, bro. Have a great rest of the day. This is a lame show tonight, but I do appreciate you stopping in. It's always good to see you in here. Have you read any of the DC Rebirth? I have not. I picked up a couple of them just because I thought it was really cool and that they're actually affordable comics. But overall, I have not had a chance to read them yet. I'm lazy when it comes to doing that. Angelic Devil knows how to vote. Everybody do that from now on.
I like Supernatural and Walking Dead.
Needs to end that show.
I like them both.
You think that Supernatural is better than Walking Dead?
He wants them to go and kill the zombies.
No kill Glenn needs pancakes.
Because they could take care of that ish in one night, and everybody is safe. But maybe they might lose one person, or one person gets hurt and has to go to the hospital. But the problem is taken care of in one night. Every single time.
Homeless man back. John, man, make sure you tune in on Friday's show. We're probably gonna do another story time, and who knows who's gonna be in it. As I recall, didn't they do some pages to match
your radio shows? I guess about Rocketeer, maybe.
Maybe. I'm not exactly sure. I'm not sure. But anyway, we do have to wrap up the Cartoon Brawl. Man, it's so hard to get Ultra Random out of my head.
Sega Genesis.
Of course he did. But all right, it is time to wrap it up. We have Inspector Gadget versus Yakko. Only one of them will move on. You guys have been voting for 40 minutes. Let's find out who's it gonna be, baby. Todd McFarlane, badass. It's true. Inspector Gadget. I honestly didn't think he was going to move on just because I didn't think you guys were going to type it in. It was just so much. So Yakko only gets 6. Inspector Gadget moves on. Awesome. I dig it. I think it's cool anytime one of the classics move on. So tonight, Scooby-Doo and Inspector Gadget advance. Make sure you come back Friday so that we can do the next one. I don't even know who it is. I haven't even looked. Peace out, Mr. Clancy. Have a wonderful, happy birthday, my friend. Hopefully this week I'll get your package sent out to you because you got a prize and you got a shirt coming to you and Ruta. Felicia girl. That makes total sense. But Yakko is so crafty. Pancakes, should I make Brenner tonight?
It's breakfast for dinner.
Yes, you
You're
should.
Southern, you know what that means. Don't even start.
Oh, man. But all right, guys, that sadly concludes the end of Monday's show. I hope you guys got a little bit uplifted today. You know, at least you got to listen to me banter for a couple of hours, but I hope that it changed your mind about a few things. Maybe you went and purchased some stuff on eBay, or maybe just sat back and drank some beer. Either way, it doesn't change the fact that, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Jizzy. This is the Nerdy Effect. I hope you guys learned something new today, and always remember to fly like a butterfly and sting like a bee, baby.
And that's why they call me Muhammad Ali. La 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 la.
It's a Nerdy Effect Trace 3.0. Trace 3.0. Nerdy Effect. Trace 3.0. It's the Nerdy Effect. Trace 3.0.
Hand twerk. You're just gonna have to explain hand twerk to me.